All right, so get ready because today we are going on a deep dive, exploring probably the most familiar thing you own, but also the most mysterious,
I like
your
that.
body.
Oh, yeah.
We are diving deep into an article today that you shared called Parts of the Body in English.
Yes.
And it's way more interesting than you might think.
Yeah.
Even if you aced anatomy back in school, this is not just a vocab lesson.
Right.
This is about understanding this incredible machine that we inhabit every single day.
Exactly. I think, you might know the names of the parts of your body, but do you really know how they work together?
Right.
The incredible feats that they perform?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the head
Okay.
because, oh, well, it's kind of the boss up there.
It is the boss. Eyes, ears, nose, the usual suspects, but hold on, hair.
Yes.
It's not just a fashion statement, right?
Right.
The article mentions something about insulation,
Yes.
and that got me thinking.
Well, what's fascinating here is that each hair follicle is actually connected to a tiny muscle. And when you get cold, these muscles contract, making your hair stand on end. Goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's a primal reflex, a way of trapping a layer of warm air close to your skin. Not as effective for us humans as it is for, say, a furry cat,
Right.
but it's a cool reminder of our evolutionary past.
Makes you wonder what other hidden functions our bodies have that we are totally unaware of.
Okay, moving down. Literally, we hit the neck. Seems simple, just holding your head up,
Yeah.
but I bet there is more to it.
Well, just think about the weight that your neck supports all day long and the incredible range of motion it allows, tilting, turning, nodding. It's crucial for our spatial awareness, for
Right.
interacting with the world. And it's also a very delicate pathway with nerves and blood vessels connecting your brain to the rest of your body.
So many important things we take for granted.
I don't know.
And then there are shoulders,
Yes.
designed for a huge range of motion. That's right. It's that range of motion that allowed our ancestors to throw spears, climb trees, and, eventually use tools with incredible precision. If you compare the shoulder structure of a human to, say, a dog or a cat, you'll see a huge difference in the articulation, the way the bones and muscles are arranged. It's a big part of what makes us human.
Okay, shoulder appreciation officially added to my to-do list.
Good.
Now, hands, those are a bit more obviously awesome.
Right.
The article focused on the opposable thumb, but why is that so important?
We humans like to think we are at the top of the evolutionary ladder, but the opposable thumb is a humbling reminder that even, seemingly small adaptations can be game changers.
Totally.
It's what allows us to grip, manipulate objects, use tools in a way no other animal can. From writing a symphony to performing brain surgery, it all starts with that thumb.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget how much we rely on our hands, all the tiny movements they make without us even thinking.
Yeah.
And then there are the legs and feet, the unsung heroes, literally carrying us through life.
And it's not just about carrying weight. It's about balance, propulsion, the intricate interplay of bones, muscles, tendons that allow us to walk, upright, run, jump, dance. It's a feat of engineering honed over millions of years. You can see echoes of this design in other primates, but ours is uniquely adapted to our bipedal lifestyle.
Suddenly feeling very grateful for my sturdy legs.
Me too.
Okay, ready for a journey inwards.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, we have got the heart pumping, the lungs doing their thing, but the brain, that's the real control center, right?
Yeah. Think of it as a supercomputer, constantly taking in data from your senses, processing it, sending out instructions to every single part of your body. It's responsible for thought, emotion, memory, even your unconscious bodily functions. And, we are still just scratching the surface of what it can do.
All of that happening up there, it's kind of terrifying and amazing at the same time.
It is.
Now, I'm not sure how squeamish you are, but I'm curious about the digestive system. What is going on down there that we never see?
Well, it's not always pretty,
Okay.
but it is definitely fascinating. Your stomach, for instance, is basically a churning vat of acid, breaking down food into usable components. And then there's the liver, this incredible organ that filters your blood, detoxifying anything harmful you might have ingested. It's the body's own waste management system.
Makes you think twice about what you put in your body, right? It's not just about taste. It's about giving these internal systems the best possible fuel to work with.
Absolutely.
And speaking of fuel delivery, the circulatory system, with its vast network of veins and arteries, That has got to be crucial.
Yeah, think of it like a highway system, constantly transporting oxygen-rich blood to every single cell in your body and carrying away waste products. The heart is the engine, the blood vessels the roads, and the red blood cells are like tiny delivery trucks keeping everything running smoothly.
Amazing to think it's happening 24/7 even while we sleep. And that brings us to the stuff we can actually see. But even that is more complex than we realize. Skin, for example, more than just a covering.
I know it really is. Think of it as a protective barrier, a shield against the elements,
Right.
bacteria, and all sorts of external threats.
Yeah.
But it's also a sensory organ. It allows us to experience touch, pressure, temperature, and it even helps regulate our body temperature through sweating.
Yeah. And it does all that while looking fabulous, right? I mean, our skin is constantly regenerating, shedding old cells and creating new ones. It's like a living, breathing, well, not breathing,
Right.
but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And speaking of unsung heroes, we can't forget about our muscles. We have got hundreds of them, working in perfect harmony to allow us to move, stand upright, and even perform the most delicate tasks.
It is funny. I never really thought about how many muscles are involved in even the simplest actions, like just picking up a pen or typing on a keyboard.
Oh,
The
yeah.
symphony of muscle contractions and relaxations.
And it all starts with signals from the brain traveling through the nervous system, telling each muscle exactly when and how to contract. It's a beautiful example of how different systems in the body work together seamlessly.
And speaking of different systems,
Yeah.
let's talk about one that is, well, a little less glamorous,
Okay.
but equally important, the kidneys. I know they filter waste, but how do they actually do that?
Well, inside each kidney, there are millions of tiny filters called nephrons. And these nephrons work tirelessly to remove waste products from the blood, regulate fluid balance, and even control blood pressure. They are essential for maintaining a healthy internal environment.
So basically, they are the ultimate multitaskers of the body. It's amazing how much is going on inside of us that we are completely unaware of.
Exactly. And while we are on the topic of internal organs, let's revisit the liver for a second. We talked about its role in detoxification earlier, but it also plays a critical role in metabolizing nutrients, producing bile for digestion, and storing energy.
It's like the ultimate support system for the digestive process.
You could say that. And speaking of digestion, I'm curious, have you ever considered the incredible journey that food takes once you swallow it?
Honestly, I try not to think about it too much. Out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But consider this, from the moment you take a bite, your body is already working to break down that food into smaller and smaller particles. It travels down your esophagus, gets churned and mixed with acids in your stomach, and then moves into the small intestine, where nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream.
Okay, now that you mention it, it is pretty amazing. It's like a finely tuned assembly line with each organ playing a specific role.
It is, and it's not just about physical processes. Our bodies are also incredibly expressive, conveying our emotions through subtle movements of muscles in our face and body.
Oh, absolutely. Like when your eyebrows raise in surprise or you blush when you are embarrassed.
Exactly.
It's like our bodies have their own language.
Exactly. And learning the names of these body parts, as this article encourages, is not just about anatomical knowledge. It's about being able to communicate effectively about our health and experiences.
That is so true. If you are experiencing pain or discomfort, being able to pinpoint exactly where it is coming from is crucial for getting the right treatment.
Precisely. It empowers you to advocate for your own well-being. So while this article might be aimed at language learners, the message about body literacy is universal.
I could not agree more. Knowing your body is the first step to taking care of it. And speaking of taking care, let's not forget about the importance of movement. Our bodies are designed to move, and our bones and muscles need regular activity to stay healthy and strong.
Absolutely. And movement isn't just about exercise. It's about incorporating physical activity into our everyday lives. Walking, dancing, playing with your kids, it all counts.
And it is not just good for our physical health. It's good for our mental health, too. Exercise releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that can boost our mood and reduce stress.
Exactly. So if you are feeling sluggish or stressed, get up and move your body. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel. But remember, even when you are resting, your body is still working hard. For instance, your heart is constantly pumping blood, your lungs are taking in oxygen, and your digestive system is processing food.
It's like a nonstop party in there,
Yes,
and we are just along for the ride.
we are.
Speaking of nonstop, what about sleep? It's something we all do. But do we really understand why it's so important?
Sleep is essential for our physical and mental well-being. It's when our bodies repair tissues, consolidate memories, and recharge for the day ahead.
So basically, it's like hitting the reset button for our bodies and minds.
Exactly. And getting enough sleep can improve our mood, boost our immune system, and even help us maintain a healthy weight. But it's not just the quantity of sleep that matters, it's the quality.
Right, like making sure you have a dark, quiet, and cool sleep environment.
Exactly. And establishing a regular sleep schedule can also make a big difference. Your body thrives on routine, and consistent sleep patterns can help regulate your natural sleep-wake cycle.
It's amazing how much we are learning about our bodies, even the things that we thought we knew. And speaking of things we thought we knew, let's talk about something that's often overlooked: our senses. We take them for granted,
Yeah.
but they are how we experience the world around us.
Absolutely. Sight, smell, taste, touch. Hearing, each sense is a marvel of biological engineering, converting external stimuli into signals that our brain can interpret. And they are all interconnected, working together to create a rich and complex sensory experience.
It's true, like how the smell of freshly baked cookies can trigger a childhood memory,
Yeah.
or how the sound of waves crashing on the shore can evoke a sense of peace and tranquility.
Exactly. Our senses are not just about gathering information, they are about shaping our emotions, influencing our behavior, and connecting us to the world in a profound way. And speaking of connections, let's not forget about the importance of human touch.
Oh, absolutely. A hug from a loved one, a handshake, even just holding hands, it can be so powerful.
Touch is essential for our emotional and social well-being. It releases oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, which can reduce stress, promote bonding, and even boost our immune system.
So basically, hugs are like little doses of medicine.
They are.
I will keep that in mind next time I need to pick me up.
And touch is not just about physical contact, it's about feeling connected to others, feeling loved and supported.
That's so true. And speaking of support, let's give some love to the skeletal system. I mean, without bones, we would just be blobs, right?
Exactly. Our skeleton provides structure, support, and protection for our internal organs. And what is truly remarkable is how strong bones are while still being incredibly lightweight.
It is like the perfect combination of strength and flexibility.
Yeah.
But bones are more than just structural support, right?
Absolutely. Bones are living tissue, constantly remodeling and repairing themselves throughout our lives. They also house bone marrow, which is responsible for producing blood cells, a vital part of our immune system.
Wow, bones are way cooler than I ever gave them credit for. And you know what? This entire deep dive has been a revelation. I feel like I've learned so much about this incredible machine I call my body.
Me too. It's a reminder that we should never take our health for granted. Our bodies are truly remarkable.
And they deserve all the love and care we can give them. So to wrap things up for this part of our deep dive, what is one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important takeaway is that knowledge is power. The more we understand about our bodies, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions about our health and well-being.
Could not have said it better myself. We are back and ready to wrap up our grand tour of the human body. It's amazing how much we've uncovered, and we are not done yet. We talk about bones being strong and light, but I'm curious, how do they actually grow and repair themselves? Seems like magic.
It might seem that way, but it's actually a beautifully orchestrated process involving different types of cells. You've got osteoblasts, which build new bone tissue, and osteoclasts, which break down old bone. It's like a constant remodeling project, ensuring our bones stay strong and healthy throughout our lives.
So it's like a dance between construction and demolition happening all the time.
Yes.
That makes so much sense, especially considering how much stress we put on our bones
Yeah.
through daily activities.
Yeah.
And speaking of stress, how do our muscles and bones work together to create movement? It seems like a pretty complex partnership.
It is. Think of your muscles as the engine, providing the force for movement.
Right.
And your bones as the framework, giving your body structure and leverage. And then you have tendons, these tough, fibrous cords that connect muscles to bones, transmitting the force of the muscle contraction to the bone, which then acts as a lever.
Oh, wow.
It's like a beautifully choreographed ballet with each element working in perfect harmony.
It's incredible how it all comes together so seamlessly. And speaking of seamless, let's talk about skin again. Earlier you mentioned it's our largest organ, but what makes it so vital for our overall health?
Well, for starters, it acts as a physical barrier protecting us from harmful bacteria, viruses, and other invaders. Think of it as your body's first line of defense against infection. But it's also a sensory organ allowing us to experience touch, pressure, temperature, even pain.
Mm.
It helps regulate our body temperature through sweating, and it even plays a role in producing vitamin D when exposed to sunlight.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility for something we often take for granted. I'm starting to realize just how interconnected all the parts of our body truly are. It's not just separate systems working independently.
All right.
It's this incredible web of interconnectedness.
Exactly, and that's what makes the human body so fascinating and complex. Each part plays a vital role, and they all work together to keep us alive and functioning. It's a true testament to the power of evolution and the amazing capabilities of nature.
I have to say, this deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I feel like I have a newfound appreciation for this amazing vessel I call my body.
Me too. And that's really the goal of this deep dive, to spark curiosity, inspire awe, and empower you to take ownership of your health. Knowing how your body works is the first step towards taking care of it.
So true. And speaking of taking care, what are some simple things we can all do to show our bodies some love?
Well, the basics are always a good place to start.
Okay.
Eating a balanced diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water, getting regular exercise, and prioritizing sleep are all essential for maintaining a healthy body and mind.
It sounds simple, but sometimes the simple things are the hardest to stick with.
You're right. It's all about making small, sustainable changes that you can incorporate into your daily routine. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every little step you take towards a healthier lifestyle is a step in the right direction.
I love that. Progress over perfection.
Yeah.
It's such a good reminder that we're all on a journey, and it's about finding what works for us individually.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to seek out information and support. Talk to your doctor, read reputable sources, and connect with others who are also on a path to wellness. There's a wealth of knowledge and resources out there to help you on your journey.
Well said. This deep dive has definitely inspired me to keep learning and exploring. I feel empowered to ask more questions, advocate for my health, and make choices that support my well-being.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, your body is an amazing and resilient machine. Treat it with respect, nourish it with healthy habits, and never stop learning about its incredible capabilities.
What a perfect way to wrap up this episode. So to our listener, we hope this deep dive into the human body has been enlightening, entertaining, and empowering. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep marveling at the wonder that is your own unique body.
And remember, you are not alone on this journey. We're all in this together, striving to understand and care for the incredible bodies we inhabit.
That's all for today's deep dive. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic to explore. Until then, stay curious and take good care of yourselves.